Umineko no Naku Koro ni, a tale whose standalone parts are complete, yet lacking clarification, that, even when brought together, tells a vague outcome. It is because of this intentionally open-ended conclusion that I am still left pondering, until I can find my own truth or solution for the blanks in between the known and the result. The tale has not ended. The game can continue until I, the reader, find a truth that can satiate my own curiosity. Umineko is a visual novel I've been deeply invested in for the past 4 months. But now, it's gone. The 150+ hour question and answer arcs, followed by the fan discs Tsubasa, Hane, and Saku, finished. 3 weeks later, I am still pondering over the meaning of such a beautiful narrative. I become almost trapped in the thought of not wanting to move on, until I can grasp a better understanding behind even the minute questions or bouts of foreshadowing. Wandering in the void of uncertainty, that emptiness I'd been accustomed to from my past favorites has trapped me stronger than ever. The battle of truth versus fiction, mystery versus fantasy, the connection between author and reader, finding solace even when there is no light to guide you, empathy. These themes, along with the premise, characters, and music, all gave form to an experience that cannot be replicated. Given that they come from the same author, I expected to enjoy it coming off of Higurashi, but I thought that, while it could get close, there's no way it could surpass it. However, to my surprise, it did just that. Umineko spoke to my soul, broadening my perspective on tellings of the past and coming to better empathize. I noticed myself looking at things from different angles, taking in another perspective, which, as a result, I began to notice that I myself had brightened up. From a bird's eye view, many problems can look as threatening as a fly. I very much appreciate the theme of bond between author and reader, a concept embedded into fiction that often goes unnoticed by both parties. It most of the time ends up as a one-way relationship, with the creator burying a cipher beneath the narrative, with that relationship only becoming complete when the reader reciprocates and decides to dig and dig, until they not only find the author's message, but decipher it themselves. For the past year now, I wanted to start writing, to create a narrative of my own, but would be overwhelmed by the starting hurdles. What would it be about? What am I trying to say? Do I have the ability to bring a reader into my world and captivate them enough to see it through to the end? Can I stick with it to the end? I was encumbered with the disease of self-doubt, leading me to a standstill. But it was this piece, this theme in particular, that sparked inspiration. It was through reading this that I gained confidence. I found a world and message I want to share, and felt comfortable in my ability to bring it to life. That self-doubt has not been completely cured, but it is progress. When I reached the finale of the 7th chapter, I was debating putting it down. I didn't want it to end. I always wanted there to be more of it. But it became a part of my routine. I wanted to see what everything I'd experienced culminated to, and so the latter won out. The ending of a series is undoubtedly important, and I'd heard the visual novel's ending to be a throw-up between disappointing, brought forth by the vagueness, and a wonderful send-off. I hampered expectations just a little, but shortly after I realized there was no need to do so. Throughout the entire chapter, emotion had overwhelmed me. Just thinking about so many scenes that occurred in Chapter 8 fogs my eyes. It was that final scene that settled a thought that had come up before. Umineko has my favorite ending in all of fiction. It stays true to what it has preached, but also added so many additional messages that help conclude in a bittersweet manner. I want to read the manga, at least for episodes 7 and 8 since they do have the most differences between them. I'm just worried that while it would be nice to have definite answers, I feel that it would take away the message I got from the original ending. And also, I don't know how I can switch over to an adaptation that won't have this euphonious soundtrack and iconic voice acting. Side note, this also has my favorite soundtrack of all time. Hope, Far, Happiness a Marionette, Alive, Golden Slaughterer, Dream End Discharger, Resurrected Player, Discolor, Wingless, Birth of a New Witch. I could name more, but it's going to be over half of its OST, which contains around 200 tracks. Either way, I'm still going to check it out. I just hope I'm able to get all the volumes I need physically. My wallet is gonna hurt. When thinking of what could be my favorite chapter, a panoply of moments come to mind, from the beginning to the very end. But when it comes to discerning and having them fight take a spot, they all beat each other in one aspect or another. One chapter may only have the impact it has thanks to a future chapter's recontextualization, but vice versa is also valid. I can contemplate as much as I want, but I can't rank them. They all have their own strengths and weaknesses, but as a whole, the consistent quality is what gives Umineko its greatest pro. Not once have I gotten bored from it. While Chapter 1 does take its time getting to the meat of its plot, the interactions between its characters and atmosphere carried me through it all. Umineko no Naku Koro ni was an experience I knew I was going to love, but came to surpass the already high bar I had set for it. It taught and caused me to look at many things in a new light, while providing a thought-provoking plot with incredibly entertaining and realistic characters to carry it. What this tale conveys has made me appreciate it on a surface and deeper level, and maybe, as I continue to reflect, and in the future give it another read, I will come to admire it even more. Writing this, even though I'm pouring all my thoughts, I still feel these words are not adequate to convey my complete feelings. Perhaps by my emotions taking the time to settle, they will eventually take a form I can describe. Undoubtedly, however, the gratitude I have towards this is apparent. So, as I send off, I want to thank you, Ryukishi07, for weaving a tale that has embedded itself into my heart. A tale that has kindled personal growth and inspiration. I hope one day, I'm able to create something that can move someone, somewhere, with the same impact I've been struck by. At the end of it all, I can say proudly, with the golden truth, Umineko is a brilliant masterpiece.